Ladies and gentlemen, one of Donald Trump's biggest rivals, congressional swamp beast Adam Schiff, is sweating bullets right now. Now, as you may know, Adam Schiff sat on the Congressional J6 Inquiry Council, which sought to prove that Trump was an insurrectionist. That didn't exactly work out for them, did it? Now, during Trump's first day in office, he pardoned over 1,500 alleged insurrectionists that the Democrats had been holding without due process. They were effectively being held as political prisoners. And so just the other day, Adam Schiff gave his thoughts on some of these pardons and whether or not he thinks Trump will come after him next. Take a look.
So, Senator, stay with us. We want to ask you about some developments regarding President Trump's January 6th pardons. Two far-right leaders who are free from jail following Trump's blanket pardon for the insurrectionists say that they want the president to seek retribution on their behalf. This week, during interviews on InfoWars, the company, of course, linked to conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, both Enrique Tarrio of the Proud Boys and Stuart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers appeared to suggest that they want Trump to seek revenge.
The people who did this, they need to feel the heat. They need to be put behind bars, and they need to be prosecuted. The president is going to do a fantastic job of enacting justice. True justice for what's been going on, and success is going to be retribution.
So, Senator, words there for retribution. Those could include Capitol Police officers. Certainly, could include the January 6th subcommittee. Of course, you were on that, and because you even received a pardon, a preemptive pardon from President Biden. So, let's get your thoughts. What is your degree of concern about hearing these calls for retribution?
Well, this is what happens when you empower white nationalist groups, when you empower people who use violence to try to thwart the transfer of power. They respond, they feel emboldened to go on and call for potentially even more to come.
Okay, so there is a lot to break down here. But first, I do want to say real quick, guys, if you enjoy the coverage, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are on a mission here to hold these progressives accountable and retake the country, but none of us can do it alone. But okay, now Adam Schiff called this guy named Enrique Tarrio, who is very clearly not white, the leader of a white supremacist group. Now, I don't think that's normally how it works. In fact, it seems to me like everyone who the Democrats don't like somehow end up getting called a white supremacist, racist, Nazi, whatever, even if they're not actually white themselves, as you just saw. It's almost like the Democrats use these words to manipulate you into going along with their crazy progressive agenda. Oh, you don't want an open border? Well, guess what? You are racist. Oh, you don't want men in women's bathrooms? Well, you're a Nazi. In fact, the Democrats have been flippantly using these words for so long that now they pretty much have no meaning whatsoever. Like, Schiff just called a dark-skinned Hispanic guy a white supremacist. How dumb does he think we are? And the reason why the Democrats do this is because they know they have absolutely zero substance. They know they can't win in the marketplace of ideas or free speech, so they just have to shut down their opposition by any means necessary. He also said that this guy is advocating for violence, when actually all he said was that Trump's success will serve as retribution, that Trump's success will be the thing that brings justice. He didn't say anything about violence whatsoever. Adam Schiff also confirmed that he did, in fact, get a presidential pardon from Biden before he left office. But that's so weird. Why would Adam Schiff need a preemptive presidential pardon if he hasn't done anything wrong? In fact, take a look at this clip from Adam Schiff from 2020, just a few years ago.
Have you ever heard of somebody getting a preemptive pardon who was innocent of all crime? Who's just an innocent person? Have you ever heard of that? Just somebody getting a blanket pardon and they're an innocent person?
But no, I think that it's an effort not only to prospectively pardon people for things they have not yet been charged with and may never be charged with, but also it's the president's own family. It's people that have been covering up for the president in addition to his own family.
Yeah, so that didn't age well. There he is saying that only someone guilty of a crime would ever take a preemptive presidential pardon. Then guess what? Just a few days ago, he took a preemptive presidential pardon. Also, keep in mind, when Trump left office, he didn't offer a single preemptive presidential pardon for any one of his family members. Why? Because they didn't do anything wrong. Biden, however, has pardoned 7 of his close family members, in addition to dozens of top-ranking Democrats, just like Adam Schiff. But as we all know, the first rule of progressivism is rules for thee, but not for me. You see, people like Adam Schiff have two sets of rules, rules for progressives and then rules for conservatives. And here's the thing, if Adam Schiff got his way, guess what? There would be no rules for progressives. But so the reason why Adam Schiff practically got on his knees to beg Biden for a presidential pardon is because of his role in the J6 committee. You see, the allegation is that after the J6 committee failed to prove that Trump was an insurrectionist, and they did fail to prove that, Adam Schiff personally deleted proof of his involvement in all of the shady things they were doing, like tampering with evidence and coaching the witnesses, for instance. And so Schiff's pardon does protect him from any federal charges, that's true, but it doesn't do anything to protect him from state charges. So if Trump wants to bring Schiff to justice, he would have to work through one of the state's legal systems. But as I'm sure you all know, I think there are quite a few states that would be more than happy to work with Trump on this. Because the fact of the matter is that people like Adam Schiff really are just the pure definition of political corruption. He spent years attempting to weaponize the justice system, and probably fraudulently so, in order to take down one of his political rivals. That's Donald Trump. Then, when it didn't work out, when things didn't go his way, when he didn't get what he wanted, he just went and got a preemptive blanket pardon from President Biden, who's just as corrupt as he is. This is the sort of behavior that you'd expect in some third world banana republic that no one's ever heard of. But no, this is just America under Democratic leadership. In fact, take a look at what Trump himself recently had to say about Mr. Adam Schiff.
People used to say, who's worse, a politician or a vicious real estate developer? And I'd always say, the real estate developer is far worse. But after about 3 months and getting to know scum like Adam Schiff and other people like that, I said, no, actually, real estate people are quite nice by comparison.
And I mean, is he wrong? Donald Trump has every possible reason to dislike this guy. And by the way, so do we. Schiff and the other progressives like him represent corruption incarnate. People like Adam Shifty Schiff have been able to act with such impunity for so long that they've just gotten so incredibly brazen with it, very obviously weaponizing the justice system and abusing their positions of power to get bailed out when it looks like they might have to be held accountable. So hey, I think I speak for all of us when I say, thank God these people aren't in control anymore, and I pray that Trump is able to find a way to hold people like Adam Schiff accountable for their obvious and blatant corruption. Because as we all just saw, Adam Schiff himself said that only someone guilty would ever accept a preemptive presidential pardon. Well, what does that say about Shifty Schiff? Not a good look. But hey, I think that's all I've got for you guys today. We are slowly getting this country back on track and clearing out all of the corrupt, deep state swamp monsters like Adam Schiff one by one. So hey, I want to know what you guys have to say about all of this. Please go down below and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Please like the video if you liked it. Please consider subscribing. Like I said earlier, it really does help a lot. Thank you guys very much for watching. And of course, as always, stay safe.